Ella Black, because my real name is Karen Leuschner. I grew up in Gardena and then Manhattan Beach. I was in a few bands that never did anything in the late 70s, and then in 79 I was in Red Cross, first as a go-go dancer, then as a backup singer. Then I sang one verse, and then I sang two verses, and then three verses, and one song. And then my band was a spin-off. It was Red Cross backing me with two other singers as Ella and the Blacks. I never liked the name because people used to blame everything on me because it was my band. And I wanted it to be a democracy, but it was Jeff from Red Cross named the band, and it stuck. First we had three girl singers, and I think we wanted to be the new Supremes, but we didn't have voices like that. And then we sort of went into a funk vein. I'd seen Gang of Four, and I was influenced by that. And the other thing I was influenced by was the original rap music, Sugar Hill Gang. And there was an all-female group called Sequence. So we were kind of like the white version of that. And people used to call us punk funk, but I said it was garage funk. Because we were a little bit psychedelic, but without the really long solos. And we had one stable lineup through most of '81, but we were just on the verge of signing to Chrysalis Records. But one of the singers left. I immediately replaced him. But then suddenly the drummer decides he didn't want to play with the guitarist, and guitarist with the bass player, and I was supposed to be the peacemaker, and I ended up like having to replace everybody. Once I wrote down everyone who had ever played a show with us, and there were, I think, 55 people over the course of 79 to 84. I did a one-person show where I described a show at L's Bar. One of the other singers decided to have a dance contest, and the winner of the dance contest would win a date with me. And he didn't run this by me, and I wasn't too happy about it. So while they were judging the dance contest, I ran outside. I described Al's Bar like inside it smelled of stale beer and cigarette smoke and the toilets that were never ever cleaned. But outside it was clean and fresh and industrial. On a happier note, the dance contest with Elle and the Blacks at Al's Bar last weekend was a rip-roaring success. The club was packed, and at the bidding of judges Lydia Lunch and Richard Meltzer, it seemed that everyone was on stage at one point. The trophies were ripped off, but since the judge didn't want to judge lest they be judged, and the bar sold out to the last drop, no one seemed to mind. A wonderful deranged time was had by all. I moved to England in Christmas of '84, and then I didn't come back to L.A. in about 3 years. When I did come back, I did go to see other bands at Al's Bar, and it was pretty much almost exactly the same, at least back in the room where the bands were. Here I've got Detroit meets Witch Doctor. Here's a birthday. Paganalia celebrates the birthday of Jeffrey Valance, the artist. Bikini Island. Lots of famous stars, celebrities, and sports figures. And we've got Top Jimmy and the Rhythm Pigs. We've got the Shadow Minstrels. Here's Middle Class with the Wounds. And my favorite local band, Monitor. The entire band were fans of the band The Fall, but especially the bass player and drummer. That was their number one band. And they finally came to the States in the summer of '81. And so Don and Kevin got in touch with their management to ask if they could book a show with us, which we did at Al's Bar. I don't know if they watched our set, but they were very kind because we found out afterwards that we weren't going to get paid at all. And at this time, we would practically sell out Al's Bar, so we were used to that as our money-making venue. But, you know, they couldn't afford to pay the Fall and pay us. So, but the Fall gave us $100 of their $500, so that was quite nice. I came down a couple years ago for some kind of street fair where the Gears played and some other bands. I couldn't believe it. it just seemed really bizarre to have all these like restaurants and shops and venues, people living all over the place. It's no longer industrial smelling.
Okay.